Crypto media friends, welcome to another Overtime show here Monday, November 1st. Oh, long week it was. Shit coins, and I'm not using that term pejoratively. They're just shitty coins. Like Shiba Inu, have a daily market cap of, all of OpenSea's. In just one day of Shiba Inu, the market cap is higher than the entire year of all of OpenSea's, or about 10 billion Solana marketplaces, whatever their names were. No one remembers anymore because we're so fraught in disdain for what's going on in the NFT space right now. Obviously, the big movers, and you can get a sense just in that scale of why it is that the NFT marketplace seemingly is so dull at the moment, because all of the effort, all of the money, all the effort, all the focus, all the money is right now into altcoins, and in a big way. And so the good thing is a lot of great projects are starting to get their due, and we can sort of look at, there was a bit of a game pump, and then once Facebook announced Meta, there was a massive metaverse pump, and massive is an understatement. The amount of money that's pumping right now into these spaces is beyond considerable. So Decentraland is up 300% this week. It's just like Decentraland has been like this for like years. Engine Coin is a bit more of a a gamey sort of system, but it kind of had that early week pump. Sandbox up 263%. This is live. I do this live. Like, subscribe. Hit the bell notification because I do this live, and you can follow along with me. This is not financial advice. This is like entertainment. That's why I start off this thing with super bad jokes, because this is so super speculative. You never know what's going to happen, but that's why I do it live, to give you the best chance to see if this is something for you to potentially get in on. And Altura, which is a bit more of a sort of a in-game thing, but this is the thing. It's like it's in-game, but it's really bridging what I want to talk about, which is the bridge into the metaverse and into artificial intelligence. And I think that's the next sort of, you can kind of see just by looking at sort of what we're going to see right here, just like the coins themselves. All the focus right now is on the metaverse. Layer one, in a sense, metaverse, like these heavy players that have been stagnant for so long are now getting the pump and all the attention, as they should. They've been building out. Decentraland is just kind of like, it feels like Netflix. I think everybody believes that they're going to beat out Decentraland and have the next best thing, but I tell you, they're first to market in a sense, and it's kind of the only place I've ever really been in the decentralized metaverse. And so, but Altura, allows for the interplay between metaverses and games ostensibly. So that's why you're seeing a bit of a pump there. And then Chain, you can kind of see the drop off here in Chain. Chain is a bit of a pure AI Oracle. You can kind of tell in the name, Oracle chain. So Chain is artificial intelligence marketplace. Super nascent, super new. Look at the market cap. We're talking about $22 million here. And it's pretty accessible. Network, which we cover here on the show, I think is going to be so fantastic. It just looks like it has. That's the hope. Is like when I look at Network, I'm just like, wow, that's a step up from what Decentraland is right now, and in terms of gaming and its ability to bring in a spectacle is fantastic. So $22 million market cap. It's so small, and that's sort of why it is so volatile. Look, I think it had a high there of 100. So just FYI, I've been a long time holder of this, just because I think there's an interesting play there in incorporating AI into NFTs and into the metaverse. And it was caught by a really fantastic CoinDesk article by Jesus Rodriguez, who's a professor and entrepreneur and a consultant, and this is pretty much what everybody's metaverse bags did this weekend. It was like, oh, hey, let's talk about this. And, I think even with Altura, I was just like, oh, I heard about it, and I got to this pump here, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's a good 2x. I don't know if it's going to do anymore. And then Metaverse, Meta, dropped their announcement, and everything, 3-4x from there. Everything pumped like just wall. Even Decentraland's. This is what Decentraland's graph looks like, but without even the game pump. It's just like, and then wall this weekend. And so ton of money, and to move something like that, with NFTs, it's a collection of 10,000. It just takes 10,000, a couple thousand people to really ramp up a market. Here we're talking about millions and millions. And so this is a different scale, but you can see the high level of interest involved when you look at that scale. And I think Jesus Rodriguez's article on CoinDesk was really, really smart in that it is taking a look at how essentially AI is going to incorporate into NFTs. And I think that's probably one of the first forays that we're seeing right now when I introduce you guys to things on art. I'm like so tired. Art blocks. With generative art, generative art is just like these cogs that are being set behind the NFTs, and we play with them. And I'll show you sort of how, and I've shown before, but I'll re-illustrate, how we can play with those cogs to give a sense of how they can control the NFTs, and then just kind of stick AI to that, and you have a really powerful interactive thing that has been used live by certain artists, and just utilizing this in the blockchain is going to be very interesting for creatives. It's really it's a new art form. Well, it's not a new art form. It's really just a blending of these technologies from things that we've been working on since like the 70s, and I'm working on it. It's it's the CEO of Into the Block, and market intelligence platform for crypto assets. He has leadership roles at technological companies, hedge funds, active investor, speaker, author, guest lecturer at Columbia University in New York. That's a pretty good one. Beautiful campus. Manifestations of NFT AI convergence in the form of generative art. That could ostensibly be one of the first forays we see, just because of the novelty of it, especially in the art blocks world, where you see higher technical difficulty within the NFT project having significant value within the system, because it could be the first of. And so, when you get the first of something, then you're looking at Fidenza-like collectability. You're looking at high level of collectability based upon the technological advancement within the NFT, which, again, generative art being sort of the base of AI type of interaction or AI type of creation in things. And sorry if we're going to go super geeky here, guys, but if you are into this, man, like, subscribe, hit me up on the comments, because you're my people. So life cycle of NFTs opens the door to intelligent ownership that we haven't seen before. Physical world ownership represents static records, and so in chain it can be programmable, composable, and interactive and intelligent. And so the future is already here. Like I said, this is stuff that's around and available, and I think that's what's great about things like a ride chain. They're trying to make a marketplace out of that. It's as simple as a dApp store that you can kind of just plug in as a creator, plug into your, I think future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. NFTs are likely to evolve as a digital owner primitive, and intelligence should definitely be a part of it. Because you can break it down, there's this broad idea of like AI, of, Steven Spielberg movie and like robots and all these sort of things, but I think you can break it down into very specific, quantifiable technological advances that there have been inroads in, including computer vision, natural language understanding. There's a lot of speech stuff that I think is cogent, but it's not going to be immediate. Obviously, I think it's going to be the computer vision. They're all about images and videos, and therefore a perfect fit to kind of interact with the advances here in AI, convolutional neural networks, generative adversarial neural networks, and it sounds like more recently transformers have pushed the boundaries. Megatron has definitely pushed the boundaries of computer vision, image generation, object recognition, scene understanding. Generative art is the clear domain for this type of thing. And so I think the natural language understanding is probably a bit further down the road, but that's why I'm introducing this in now. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, because I do this for you now, so that you're on one of these, and then you get the massive pump when the world discovers, like, oh yeah, AI, this is going to be cool stuff. It's going to be a bit far out, but I think the market speculation obviously is just so early. There's so many projects that does, even in the metaverse side of things, even the gaming side of things, who don't have anything. They don't have anything done. All they have is the promise of the potential of maybe a team, which is awesome, but they don't have products necessarily, do they? So the speech side of things, you have things like tone analysis and just reading human interaction and being, taking data that's off chain into the chain, which is known as an oracle. And so AI generated NFTs, manifestations of the trend such as generative art, but they remain relatively constrained both in terms of AI methods used as well as in the use cases they tackle. The use cases are, they're still pretty speculative now, but the trend in art, I think, is what's going to grab us and get us there, because they're just novel, and we'll kind of cover a couple other projects with coins that are in this space. And so expand beyond generative art into more generic categories. So once we get into there, then you have other categories that you can apply these and have a data set, because I think that's the thing, is AI has been practicing and been working in DeFi because it was a marketplace, and they could market to DeFi, and they could incorporate things into DeFi, bots and the like. And so Alethea and Fetch AI I've been watching for quite some time, and they're probably will cover quite advanced and ready for the marketplace, much like I feel like Chain is getting there. Fetch is already kind of there. NFTs can evolve from basic ownership primitives to intelligent self-evolving forms or ownership to enable richer experiences. So again, this is just like, how are you going to make me rich? How are you going to make me rich financially? How are you going to make me rich? Enriching my experience. And so this era of intelligent NFTs, smart NFTs, nobody's quite gotten it right, because everyone has a different interpretation of what they mean, which is exciting for us as creators. And so Refik Anadol is an artist that was highlighted in the article, and does these really beautiful experiences leveraging this technology. And so if you stand in front of this piece, it's going to read you in a certain way and take the data that you're giving it and create for you a completely new, much like a creation of a Fidenza, much like the creation of a lot of those generative art things, by looking at hash or looking at transactional data on the chain, or ostensibly as it grows and grows and grows, looking at something that's live. And that's what sort of the idea of Oracle, the idea of AI then begins looking back at you and creates the interaction in the generative art. And so, the sort of the easy show right now is to go to Art Blocks. Again, man, it's like, I've never seen this many projects on Art Blocks available. So I'm just like, and sadly, no, we can't get a Crypto New Yorker, because unless you're in New York, if you're in New York, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let me know if you can get a Crypto New Yorker, because you have to go live to mint it. And so celebrities like Tobey Maguire and Andy Milonakis, people in New York, they're like able to, it's like pissing me off. I'm just like, oh, they're able to just, jump on down and go mint. Because it says that there are some available, and the Crypto Venetians, sold out and are worth quite a bit. And they're kind of cool. So But I digress. The generative controls, generative art has slowly began getting controls, and so you can see here with this project by Bard Ianson. He's only gotten 24 out of 898 minted. I think that's a bit tragic because I don't know if it's showing as well, as cool as this is, because he has a lot of controls as well to the art, and that's something that I showed previously in art blocks. Is, you know, you have to go to the live thing. You can't just look at this photo. You look at this photo. This is even like a replacement to try and keep it fresh, because the yellow one was looking a bit static. So they were like, oh, okay, here's a blue one. And they tried to show it moving. And so I don't know if you guys are watching the show. Thanks, Art Blocks. But it was just like, I was like, it's tragic that, you know, you can't see it moving. But further to that, further to the movement, you have control of the NFT when you go live. And so you look at this thing, it started off at 8 ETH, is down to 0.18 ETH. Value potentially. I quite like this art. If I could just get this heart one, I probably would get it. I like that it has the I Ching as well as the hearts. Really, I think it's just fantastic. But this one had a bit of a different level of control. It was a very, you know, you can stop it, start it, but it didn't have the markings of the other ones. And so, but you can change the colors here. I'm changing the colors. I can change the position and the speed and the rotation of the hearts. You can see me just kind of playing with it as I'm playing with the buttons. When I, you know, inject the speed, I can then start playing with, you know, interpretation of color and how often you're seeing those hearts. And so, you know, I'm pushing the hearts outward, and so creating sort of new forms and almost maybe new feelings. And I could change the color too if I wanted on the fly. And so these, now you're under my control. I've successfully hypnotized you. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and send gas fees. Oh my gosh, gas fees. I can't even get out of positions right now. Like, I can't even, like, I'm just like stuck. I feel helpless. I got stuck in a really bad LP, guys, where my ETH, and you know, I'm a big fan on the show of Luxo, and I pooled, and true story here, Luxo went so high that it took away, and I hate V3. I hate V3 Uniswap so much. V2 seems more sort of set it and forget it. I just don't have the time to sit there and day trade on LPs. And so the price of Luxo went so high that essentially in my own container of the LP, it left me only with ETH, and then it priced me out because it went so high so fast that, you know, you have to sort of put it in a container in V3. It's so frustrating. And then it just literally just left me with ETH. So this whole time I was just like, wow, my bags of Luxo are just feeling really, really heavy. They're 3-4x. No, sadly, because of the LP, it took it all out. And even just to get out of the position, I can only get out with ETH. I've LP'd and I've gotten some tokens from as a reward, so I've gotten some, but not the 3-4x of, you know, my original investment that I thought I had, which is just a really tough lesson learned in LPs and again V3 of Uniswap. I'm just not a fan. I think they're great controls for people who are sophisticated investors. I'm just not that day trader who wants to sit in front of a computer looking at those numbers and crunching them on a consistent basis, unless they have a cute Doge pound puppy thing that I want to see them all. So generative controls, this is, you know, another in this space here. This one has markings, and here you can see I'm controlling the markings and controlling the way that it's being generated, and I can start, stop, and reset the coloring, and you know, whatever I want to do on the fly. Now, what if that is, I've hypnotized you again, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You can see sort of how you can control the visual, and now it's just about the idea of AI is just to say, okay, let's put something that's forward-looking or looking at other data that is beyond smart contract, that is a bit more real world, that needs to be ingested in a sense. So whether that's my eye movements, that's my posture, that's the tone of my voice, having an interpretation and then an actuation of these things that I'm playing with on the fly. And so, I mean, that's at its simplest. I think what we're looking at in terms of the future of the technical side of things. And so, as those come about, those might be the real interesting collectibles in this space, technologically speaking, because they're going to lead to this onset of the AI interaction within good old Decentraland. Oh, good old Decentraland. I always promised I was going to show Decentraland. I just never did, because I feel like you guys have all seen it. But when I see this absolute, just flat line of Decentraland, I assume everybody knows about Decentraland. And then I see the wall of interest. I'm like, oh, you guys haven't seen Decentraland. You don't know what this is, do you? And hey, check out the wearables. And so this is what fashion we talk about here on the show. You can see on the left, upper left there, I have the Vogoos. I have 2 Vogoos, and I have a Meta, what's his name? TCL Bloggers pass there. So if he has an event, I can go there with my little badge and throw on any of these onto my avatar. And so, that's the thing. So the collectibles, which, were dropped in my wallet, I connect my wallet. There's 3 different ones that you can use on Decentraland, MetaMask being obviously the most popular. And so just by having these in my wallet, these were dropped to me. I can, of course, buy these on OpenSea. But then I can wear this, and I'll choose the pink and put on these shoes and go into Decentraland. And so this is, it always feels like Roblox to me. It's just a slightly nicer Roblox. You can see everyone's a little bit dressed the same because of just, again, like people just starting off and just kind of wanting to run in and experience it. And then you go to the boards here, and you can see sort of, what's cooking, things to do, push the E and the F, and then you click on the place that you want to go. We'll choose Atari Casino. And Atari Casino freaks me out a little bit because it's like a legit casino. Like, I didn't know that if you watch somebody play, you actually get money, just a small amount, because you like clap for them and stuff. It's interesting. And so, this is the thing. So it's just the experience of Frogger dealing blackjack or what have you, all these traditional casino games here at the Atari Casino, hoping that they get much more creative. But it's definitely made for a lot of people, a lot of space here in their plot in Decentraland, in a really nice looking. Let me walk out here and show you casino that they've built here in the metaverse to experience and to collect your die or ETH that you can use to play these games. I haven't tried it, and I kind of wonder. I'm like, I hope they have limits, because my gosh, that could get really ugly really quick. And who needs regulation? Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, do this live, because I dig the space, and I hope you guys do too. And I'll see you guys a little later in the week. It's going to be another big one, I'm sure, with something completely new and changed. But hopefully we've push the conversation so that you can understand the marketplace a little better as to what might be coming, and make your bets, your Atari casino bets. Don't do the Atari casino betting, but make your informed bets based upon your due diligence. Thanks, guys.